Okay. Thank you, Dr. Savidaji and Dr. Anitaji and Dr. Koshi and Dr. Poonam, and there must be other professors. Just raise hands, professors from the university. Okay, professors, doctors. Okay, don't hear me. Oh. Can you hear me now? Okay, particularly those at the back. Can you hear me? Good. So the today is the last talk, the last session for me, and this book I'm going to do. Not me, from Tibet House. We're going to offer this to the library of Goa University, and Dr. Sivadeji will take it there, and Professor Koshi said that it'll come to his department. Yeah. Okay, so basically this is a science and philosophy in the Indian Buddhist classics. At the moment there are 2 volumes. This second volume is purely on mind, and the first one is more on the philosophy. This is purely on mind, and what I discuss, these are all in great detail. You will find not in more like the explanatory form, but in a technical form. You'll find this in this book. So you can just have a look at this book. It'll go to the library or in the philosophy department. This is one thing that I'd like to introduce to you. Then the next part that I like to also share with you is that given that this is more like the summarizing what we did thus far. So first we'll do a very short. On the earlier 2 days we did meditation for 5 minutes. Today we'll not do 5 minutes to save time. We'll do a very short, which is 21 cycles of breathing meditation, number 1. Then number 2, I also like to include the meditation on emptiness, which we studied yesterday. And how many of you are new today? Raise your hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, there are 6 of you new. And what we suggest is that finally what we discussed the earlier days, if we apply this to our day-to-day, as a part of your day-to-day practice, will be very useful to calm down our mind, and you can feel the effect not necessarily on the spot, but over time. Say like if you're successful within a week's time, within a month's time, you can feel the effect. And particularly say when you feel what the situations otherwise can easily trigger agitation within you. You will be amazed to see that your mind, the same stimulus, same triggers, but your mind does not react. You can feel that your mind is calmer. And over time, if you truly succeed in this, okay, so these I took them back. So otherwise I've been leaving these here for the last 2 days, but if you're interested, I still will keep them here for 2 hours, and then if you're interested, you can help yourself, you can take. If you then the remaining I'll take. Okay. So the point is that if you're very serious, then these studies will be more. What we're doing is more like the trailer for movies. And these are not really in great details. I told you, particularly what we did yesterday is about seeing things as like dream. This requires extensive studies, and it's not about any religion. It's about your discovering the facts, discovering the reality. In other words, it is to be discovered, not to invent. to be very objective. The more objective you are in your approach, the more nuanced you are in your approach, there's a likelihood, greater likelihood that you will see this reality, that what I'm seeing is not reality, and what I'm seeing is like a dream. And once you get this confidence, then your fears dissolve. This is extremely precious practice. And we all know that we all have to go through, one way or the other, we have to go through challenges of life to meet with untimely situations like the loss of near and dear ones and so forth. And oftentimes, unfortunately, even divorce and so forth. When divorce happens, it's not that, okay, now our time together is over, bye-bye. It's not like that. There's going to be so much of anger, so much of hatred, disliking, and so forth, where your whole mind is disturbed. And sometimes very painful. So I don't have to really elaborate on this. You know that. Sometimes, the man leaves and the wife is left behind. And sometimes the wife leaves and the man is left behind. It's very heartbreaking. Under such situation, these practices will help us. And then otherwise as well, say the loss of very near and dear ones. Again, last time, day one, we discussed, say what do you want? A family where the family members are extremely kind to each other, or the family members are always fighting amongst each other? What do you prefer? We all said very cordial, very friendly, loving family. But at the cost of something. The more the loving, the reality. It's not about the religion, it's about the reality. But even if you are agnostic or atheist, this is reality that one has to face. If the family is so good, there is going to be a time of separation. And that is so painful. This is the cost. So, anybody remembers the question that I asked you? Pertaining to this, that how many you want? I'll give you 3 choices. The first choice is where you have a very loving family. There's tremendous feeling of love and affection, care. And then, during the separation, tragedies, no pain. This was one option. Okay, let me do the other way around. First, what we all have, very loving, and during separation or tragic incidents, acutely painful, one situation. Number 2, not loving, no pain. Right? Okay, that's it. So you are saying, yeah, what do you do? Because you don't love, you don't feel the pain. That is choice 2. Choice 3, where you have a tremendous feeling of friendliness, love, affection, care, embrace, and at times of the tragic incidents, the pain, acute pain, that is not there. 3 options. Which do you prefer? Just raise your hands. Okay, gentlemen over there, number 3. Okay, raise your hands, those who say number 3. Raise hands. Okay. If you really want number 3, then what we discussed yesterday, what we're going to discuss today, and it may help you only if you are very advanced in this the exercise. But what we discussed yesterday, if you're able to do it well, then you can succeed it greatly. When your love and affection continues to expand towards your family members, towards everyone, meanwhile, say with the tragic incidents, the pain is not going to be there. Because with the pain, and some people may think that, oh, with the pain means you don't feel anything, you don't love that person. No, this is the side effect. This is nothing good in it, the pain. With the pain, you don't have the energy. Your energy is drained. For example, mother and the children. And if the mother collapses because of the pain, because of the fear, if the mother collapses, then the children, who will take care of the children? The mother should stay very strong, should not collapse. So, with love and affection, the pain hinders you from giving love and affection towards your near and dear ones. Okay, so for that matter, what we discussed yesterday about to see everything like a dream. The moment you wake up from the nightmare, the fear dissolves because of realizing the reality. So this, if you're interested, then these courses are always there. Yes, particularly those people who have been very consistent the last 4 days, and those who they came today for the first time, you can discuss with them as to about these things. Will give you a greater picture for this. Then by the way, these courses, some people, they ask me whether they are online or they should come to Delhi. No, it's online, offline, both. And is it that you should be always on time? No, that all these, I say, if you are on time, meaning that in real time, live, if you can come, best, you can interact. That's the benefit. Whereas if you cannot come live, for example, people in America, because of the stark contrast in the time zone, they cannot attend the live. Some people, they struggle. Say they get up early in the morning, like 2 a.m., 3 a.m., they do that, some. But most people, they take their own time and space, and everything will be sent to you through through your education portal. You are given a separate education portal, and then you can also ask how it works. We have Tinsipiala here from Delhi, Tinsipiala here, Dr. Anita here, 2 of them, and then the Sharmila here, and Elro is there. Yeah, so they know, they have been doing this for the last many years. So you can ask them, and they can help you. Okay, this is just for information. It's very convenient, and for the students, it's just, for example, you go to a fancy restaurant. One-time fancy restaurant, the expense is for your whole 1-year fees. So subsidized. And why we are not making it totally free? Because people don't value this. So therefore we charge something for you to work. And some people, they say, I can't pay this much. Then the office would say that, okay, can you do something for us? And they said, what? You have to do some work, like transcription work and so forth. The person says, yes, we send something to transcribe, 1 hour of work. And the person, this transcription is totally useless for us. No use at all. If somebody's work on this transcription, that person will spend another 5 hours on this. Why not we do it fresh? But we deliberately make them work to let them feel that what I'm studying, this education that I'm getting, is not for free. I earned it. I worked for this. Just to let them feel that. Okay, so don't go for this. Don't go for, I cannot pay. Okay, I'm just joking. So this is the reality. This is one thing. Okay, now, without much ado, let's go for the 2 meditations. First one is single-pointed meditation, which is just to stabilize your mind and to maintain your focus and build a power of concentration. Oftentimes what happens is that, say, you have to prepare for some exams, and then you're studying, your mind goes here, there, scattered, it happens. So there, how to stop that? This meditation will help, number 1. Number 2 meditation is to make you fearless. So that part I'm going to give you, because I feel that although there are so many materials to cover, I don't really, instead of covering so many materials and find you get nothing to take away, so I feel better that we do something that particularly I sense, but the last 3 days, the first day was more like getting to know each other, and the last 3 days I see that the participants are very serious. So for the very serious people, there should be something to take away. So what we did yesterday, that's going to be put in the form of translated in the form of a meditation, 5 steps meditation, and so then, and for your more detailed meditation, more detailed studies, not necessary that you have to do these courses. To do the courses, of course, it's going to be a very different experience, but you can get all these materials, and if you send an email to me, or to the office, and send them outside to send them to me, or you can send them to the office, but CC that to me, or to me at least that I'll make sure that you get a reply. Otherwise, sometimes the office, there are so many mails, and sometimes they may overlook some of the mails, and you may not get reply. So just CC that to me. I'll make sure that you get your reply. And then my email address, 2 days ago, I had mentioned this, dordam@gmail.com. DORDAM, I don't know, but it's not here. Dordam, DORDAM @gmail.com. Okay, I think it works here. Okay. Okay, you see that? Dordam@gmail.com. Okay, thank you. So we will do the meditation. The first single point of meditation, just for 21 cycles, which is going to be like, let's say, 2 minutes. Okay, let's do it for 3 minutes then. Ready? And for those of us who are coming here for the first time, I'll give you a quick, let's say, the instruction. There are 4 things to keep in mind for this particular meditation to build the power of your concentration. One is the body posture. What is number 2? Focal point. What is number 3? Identifying the errors of meditation. Number 4, applying the remedies to overcome the errors. Okay, 4 points. Number 1, the body posture. What is very important is that cross-legged is very good, but there are 2 things which is like mandatory. One is body upright. Body must be upright, and don't, particularly for meditation, don't lean against the support. Don't lean against the support, just keep the body upright. Meanwhile, keep the body flexible. And then the next thing which is not to be compromised is the eyes not closed. Don't keep your eyes closed, always keep the eyes half open. And 45 degrees cast down and just ignore. Okay, these are 2 things. And then right hand on your left hand, the 2 thumbs joining, forming a triangle. Place the 2 hands in the laps, in your lap, in a restful state, and breathe normally. Okay, so that is the body posture. What you are going to meditate on. 1, just count breath. Breath in, breath out. Cycle 1, breath in, breath out. Cycle. Just focus on your breath. That's it. Count the breath. That's it. And while counting your breath, multitasking. Multitasking, we should do a visualization of a very tiny white dot, 1 mm or 2 mm in diameter between nose and the upper lip. So here, you just visualize a very tiny dot, and then simultaneously count the breath. Breath in, breath out. Cycle 1, breath in, breath out. Cycle 2. This is what you're going to do for, so let's say 3 minutes. And then the point number 3 is identifying the errors of meditation. What kind of meditation is classified as not good, and what is good is when a meditation is free of 2 defects. Number 1 is mental laxity, and the other one is mental excitement. Mental laxity is the inactivity of the mind. Inactivity of the mind, which means your mind feels the sleepy, the lethargic, heavy, and the other is opposite of that. The mind is, there's overactivity of the mind, mental scattering, mental distractions, discursiveness. These are all the problems. So should any of these two things happen, you go for number 4. Number 4 is applying the remedies to overcome the errors. And what are the remedies? 2 remedies: introspection and mindfulness. Introspection is just like a meta-awareness, to be aware of one's own mind, to check, to keep a check on your mind, what your mind is doing. If you whether your mind is meditating, or it is falling asleep, or it is distracted, just keeping an eye on your mind. Number 1. Should you see that your mind is distracted or falling asleep, sinking, then apply the mindfulness. Mindfulness is to bring the mind back to the intended object of meditation. Okay, ready? And let's say 3 minutes. Okay, thank you. The next is the meditation on emptiness, to create or to bring about fearlessness in our mind. And if you keep doing this on a daily basis, of course, it requires extensive studies. It doesn't mean that you cannot meditate on this. You can. And to start meditating on this the way I'm going to explain to you. And meanwhile, if you're very serious with this, that okay, one day and this the such shocking news can come to you. Till 5, say till 5, I was a very happy child, and at 5, for just imagine, for a child, young child of age 5, what greater shock can you expect than losing one's mother? It happened to me when I was just 5 years old, and all of us, we are bound to go through such experiences, very painful. So we should be prepared. How are we going to be prepared? So meanwhile, I did mention this yesterday, that that what we are doing, let's say for example, by studying physics, it should not alter, it should not shake your faith in your religion. If you are Christian, by studying physics, it doesn't mean that you should give up Christianity. No, you can be. There are many good Christians who are actually the pioneers of modern science, like geneticists, and many of these the scientists, they were Christians. So likewise, Hindus, Muslims, Jains, Baha'is, Zoroastrianism, Buddhism, Sikhs, agnostics, atheists. But the point is that we should remain a good human being. We shouldn't disturb the family. You shouldn't disturb your community. That's the point. And the more learned you are, the stronger should you be, like the hub to bring the community together rather than to split the community. This is so important, so important. So these are all like academic, the knowledge and reality, and which would help you. In other words, jokingly, I tell people, enjoy pizza, don't become Italian. Yeah, no need to become Italian. Just enjoy pizza, that's it. I also enjoy pizza. No need to become Italian, right? So likewise, say all this information, like the map of the mind, and how to change the discrimination, to change the feeling, to change your, how to change the discrimination on the basis of understanding the map of mind, how to change the discrimination, to change your feeling, to change intention. Intention, which makes your mind to move involuntarily, which is known as agitation. How to calm down the agitation by changing the feeling. How to change the feeling by changing the discrimination. This is what we learned. Yeah. So this is what we are doing. Okay, with this in mind, for the emptiness meditation, and since that there are some of you who are new, again, and not only for the newcomers today, for all of us, I'm going to, this revision will be helpful to all of us. Okay, so in fact, yesterday what we said was that first I'm going to explain this, we'll do the meditation, then followed by today on the universal compassion. How to expand the universal compassion. How to expand your mind to reach to the level of universal compassion. Okay, so what I asked yesterday was, what is this? And we all said this is water. Then I asked the chemist, what is this? What is the answer? H2O. Then I asked the physicist, what is this? What is the response? A bunch of electrons, protons, neutrons. And which of the three perceptions is correct? And you said that all three are correct, right? And what we said, but why there are three different perceptions taking place? One you see as water, and the other side we see as just electrons, protons, neutrons. So why two different perceptions are taking place? And you said that the Chetan, and there's one girl who said it. Who's that? Huh? Okay. Your name? Veda. So Veda and Chetan said that it's your perception and situation. Depending on different situation, you will have different perception. Then, on this basis, what we said is that we classify these perceptions into two. One is, say, the conventional analysis, where we look at it through a naked eyes, not through electron microscope. Naked eyes, you see there's a water. So let's call that as conventional analysis. Why we call this a conventional analysis? Because the same object is seen as water by the conventional world. So we call it conventional analysis. Whereas how the physicists would look at through electron microscope to see that this is just a bunch of electrons, protons, neutrons, this is not conventional. This is how the world will not see. Okay, you go to, say, buy in the morning to buy whole wheat bread. Oh, please give me a whole wheat bread. And the shopkeeper gives you a bread, and you say, this bunch of electrons, protons, neutrons. Where's the bread? Nobody will discuss this. So this doesn't fall under electrons. Yes, that's very true. It's just a bunch of electrons, protons, neutrons. But this is not how the conventional world sees. So how are they, say, looking at through the electron microscope? That observation, that perception is different from how the conventional world sees. So in what way it is different? Conventional world will not go too close. And the lady there, Bharatiji, yes. So Bharatiji said that the zooming in and zooming out, she put it so beautifully. When you zoom in, this is what the physicists do. Zoom out, this is what the conventional world does. So, zooming in, then you see just electrons, protons, neutrons. Zooming in means you go closer to the object or further away from the object. Closer to the object. Closer means you are to see the reality more closely. So that is known as the ultimate analysis. What you see is the ultimate analysis. And how we see this water, this is conventional analysis. So yesterday what we said is that we classify all our perceptions into two groups. One is conventional analysis and the other one is ultimate analysis. This is how we classify it. So with this, let's say that, okay, we're going to do two things. One, look at somebody who's sitting next to you. Look at that person. Look at that person. Don't look at me. Look at somebody sitting next to you. Look at the other person. Okay, I did not ask you to smile. I just look at the other person. Hey, just look at the other person. Don't be too serious also. Some people are very serious. Okay, look at the other person. Okay, still you are smiling. Okay, I don't mind. It's fine, it's fine. You look at the other person. Good. Now, close eyes. Close eyes and think of the same person who you looked at. Think of the same person who you looked at. Okay, good. Now open your eyes. Okay. Like it that nobody's smiling in the second case. If you smile, you have to go to mental hospital. Alright? You just think of a person and you smile. Which means that you're crazy. Nobody smiled. Good. My question to you. Why in the first case, when you look at the other person, you're smiling? Why in the second case, when you think of the same person, it does not, you do not smile? Why? Why? There's a difference there. Raise hands. Yes, over there. Your name? Dion. Dion. Okay, Dion ji. So, what's your answer? Okay. So the just imagine, just visualize other person looking at you. You get the feedback. Okay, now you smile. You're not still you're not smiling. You get feedback. Simply because you get feedback doesn't mean that you have to smile, right? You can just imagine that the person. Okay, now I visualize the person is giving me feedback, right? But you don't smile. Okay, anybody else? Why in the first case you smile? You invariably smiled. While in the second case, Even if I force you to smile, you will not smile. It's stupid. Okay, why? Dr. Savitaji? And the second one? Okay, did you see the difference? One's a real person there and the other's imagination. You are getting it? Raise hands. How many of you say agree with what Dr. Savita said? One is a real person, so that makes you smile. One is imagination, just your mind. For imagination, if you smile, you have to go to mental hospital. Huh? Why? Say it again. No, don't worry. Not everybody will send you to mental hospital. Somebody of your kind will not send you to hospital. They will say, oh, you're perfect. Right? No. Okay. Just don't distract me too much. I don't have time. If you are really serious, come for this. Then all debates can happen. And so many debates are actually happening in the air. Say the group discussion is happening there online. All these group discussions happening. Classes are there. It's a beautiful program. Okay. So we come to learn that when you see as real, then your emotion, it's an indication of emotion. When you smile, emotion is stirred. When you imagine, you know there is imagination, your emotions are under control. You're getting it? Likewise, in the dream, when you're in the dream, again, your emotions are stirred in the dream. When you wake up, your emotions stop related to the dreams. Contents of dream, your emotions are not stirred, is under control. Okay, so with the emotions, emotional like what? Excitement, emotional fear, and so forth, there's a loss of control of your emotion, loss of control of your mind. Your mind is being affected by the object. Oh, this is real. Then, if it's nice, it stirs you into excitement. If it's not nice, it stirs you into sadness or fear, unhappiness. Okay, when you see that this is nothing but coming from a mind, all emotions are under control. That is the meaning of fearlessness. This is so precious. And if you can do this exercise, which we're going to do here, this meditation, 5-step meditation, if you do this on a daily basis, and of course you have to study a little more extensively on this concept of emptiness, that when you come across in difficult times, you can manage your emotion, you can control your fears. This is extremely important. Let's not forget it. Okay, so this is one point. Now imagine that how do you determine that something is coming from the object or something is coming from the subject? Let's say that, okay, which of the two is objective and which of the two is subjective? Let's say the person that you're looking at with the eyes and the person you are thinking. Which of the two is objective, which of the two is subjective? Quick, raise hands. Yes, Dr. Poonam? What do you imagine? That person, the same person that you just close your eyes and you imagine, that is subjective. And the other one is, one you're looking at it, is the objective. How many agree with Dr. Poonamji? Raise hands. Very good. Okay. So from this, what we learn is that okay, dream is subjective or objective? Subjective, very good. Okay. I'm sure here in Goa, you must have seen, many times you have seen rainbow. Good. Let's say that rainbow hits to the east. I don't know which is the east. This one. Let's say to the east. And then you see, say 1 kilometer away from where you are standing, and a young child is with you. And this young child, age 5, asks you, please take me there. Will you take the child there? Chetan will not. You will not take the child there. If you take the child there, you're also a small child. Why? Because you go closer to the object, closer to from where the rainbow appears. You will not find the rainbow there. which means that rainbow is not really from the object. It's somewhere your perception created on the basis of the water droplets serving as the prism, and the light falling on this distance. All these factors create a sense of rainbow in your mind. You getting it? Okay. Now my next question. If I am 1 kilometer away from you, and if you see me in water, oh, strange, Geshe is in water. Okay. And say Elroy must have told you that, oh, Geshe cannot be in water, he doesn't know how to swim, right? But I'm seeing him in water. How will you evaluate what you seeing is water or what you seeing is mirage? How will you evaluate that? Results. Very quick to save time here. Go closer towards from where the water appears. How many agree with your name? Lakshmi. How many agree with me? Lakshmi, raise hands. Very good, okay. So, to evaluate whether what you're seeing is water, real water, or a mirage, for that you have to come closer towards the place from where the water appeared. So as you come closer towards me, you see that there's no water at all there. Then what do you conclude? You conclude that my earlier perception of water was deceptive. It was mirage. Okay, now mirage, subjective or objective? Very good, it's subjective. So from this, we come, and the movie, subjective, objective. Movie. Okay, movie in the movie theater, not just on the screen, on the laptop, on the big screen in the theater. Subjective, objective? Objective. Objective, subjective. Hey, the movie is coming from where? Projector. Where's the projector? Projector behind you. Projector is the subject. You're getting it? And the screen is the object. So the movie is coming from the object or from the subject? From the projector or from the screen? From the movie is coming from the screen or from the projector? From the projector. Okay, it's coming from the projector. It is on the screen, not from the screen. It is on the screen, not from the screen. It is from the projector. You get it? So projector is the metaphor for subject. So let's say that the movie is, with this as a metaphor, the movie is subjective. It's coming from the projector, which is seen as a subject. Okay. So with this, there's a great philosopher by the name Nagarjuna, 1st century AD, and his writing is considered as a great source of analysis for the Western philosophers and the Eastern philosophers alike. So this is what is being critically analyzed by many philosophers. Nagarjuna is a very, very famous philosopher from India. And what he said was that if the mirage, just see, what we discussed thus far is reflected in what he said. And by the way, the text in which he said is precious garland, Ratnavali. Okay, so there he said, if the mirage were to be water, why not those close by the mirage see water? Let me repeat it. If the mirage were to be water, why not those close by the mirage see water? This is what Lakshmiji said. It resonates well. Okay, now you looked at the other person and you saw the other person is so real. You said, Dorji said, yeah, the other one's so real, other one's real, and one is imagination. So real. Real means from the object is objective. So what we discussed yesterday was that what we see as objective, that is deception. Deception means ignorance. And ignorance is a cause of all our fears. So if we remove the ignorance, how to remove the ignorance? The ignorance is like darkness. Just as in dark, we don't see anything around you. Likewise, with ignorance, you don't see the reality. So how to remove the darkness? Oh, Buddha, Jesus Christ, or Ram, Prophet Muhammad, please remove the darkness. If you say this prayer, if these great enlightened beings are next to you, they'll be feeling so hopeless. What a hopeless follower. Whereas if you light a candle, they'll be very happy, a smart follower. Okay, so the point is that to remove the darkness, it is only through introducing the light. Likewise, to remove the darkness of ignorance, it is only through introducing the light of the wisdom. What is that wisdom? Next question. The wisdom is the discerning mind. Wisdom is the discerning mind whose apprehension of the object tallies with the reality. Let me repeat it. Wisdom is a discerning mind whose apprehension of the object tallies with reality. Your question, what's reality? Okay, so reality means, Dr. Savita said, the person who made me smile is a reality, right? Now we see whether that is a reality or absence of that is a reality, right? Whether that is a reality, what sees the person as so real, that's a reality, or that is deception. You remove the deception, then the reality is unfolded. Okay, so for that matter, how to evaluate what we see is the reality or not? Go closer to it. If the mirage were to be water, why not those close by the mirage see water? Likewise, if what I see, the other person who made me smile, if that is real, how to evaluate that? Go closer to this object. Go closer to that person. You're getting it? Okay. How do you go closer to that? From how we say that, where is Dr. Savitaji? She's here, right? From distance. I said it, and that is the final. That is how this is a conventional analysis. Now to see if something exists as real, we have to subject the object to ultimate analysis. Ultimate analysis. So how to subject the object to ultimate analysis? By going closer to the object. Okay. By going closer to this object, okay, this is like a crash course. By going closer to this object, what happens? Just ignore all those which are not this self. Okay, by the way, how many of you are seeing me? Raise hands. Right? Okay. Okay, what about those people who do not raise hands? You're not seeing me? Either you're a philosopher or you want to challenge me? Okay, so most of you raise hands. Perfect. So which means that you are seeing me. You're getting it? Okay, so now that person who you are seeing, that person is a empirical reality or exotic reality? Empirical reality means a reality which we can see. So with a direct sense, or something which I have to believe. What is that? That self that you say is Dorji, Geshe or Dorji. That person is empirical reality or something, what is that? Virtual or elusive, right? Or empirical reality. What is that? It's an empirical reality. You're getting it? And particularly, say in the university setup or in the academic institutions, it is best to touch the empirical reality. It's the best to stay away from what is not empirical. Okay, this is my view. Okay, so with this, let's see that. So this self, this person that you are seeing, that person that you, and then later on you can apply this to your wife, to your husband, to your father, to your mother, to your child, to your the colleagues at your workplace. You can apply this to them. And if you see that say you have some conflicts with a person, and you subject this person to the same analysis, and the person dissolves, just see how your mind reacts to this. Your mind, the agitation instantly subsides. You could feel it. Okay, so for this, what you do is that let's not forget this. If the mirage were to be water, why not those close by the mirage see water? So this person, if this person were to exist truly, why not I see this person as I go closer to this object? Now let us go closer to this object. Don't just see that, oh, Geshe is there, Dorji is there. I could see that this is how you see conventionally. In the conventional sense, is how you see. Now we are trying to see whether the person exists truly from the object. From the object, to verify this, you have to go closer to the object. Going closer to this object, just ignore all those things which are not this person. Because you are looking for this person. You are not looking for something else. Anything which is not this person, just ignore. You getting it? Ready? Okay, first let's do it more like intellectually. And later on, we'll put in the form of a 5-point meditation on emptiness. Okay, so as you go, and then you can do this on yourself also. Not necessarily it should be always somebody else. You can do it on yourself. And at times, it can be a little scary. And if you do feel the fear, if you feel the fear, a tinge of fear, don't worry. If you feel the tinge of fear, you are very fortunate because you are in the proper track in this. So soon you are to experience extremely profound tranquility. This is what you're bound to experience, but initially you're bound to feel a little bit of fear. But through this practice, if you feel overwhelmingly scared, you cannot control it, then stop the meditation and inform me. Get back to me, but don't worry. This happens to only 1 out of 1 million people. There's no 1 million people here. But don't worry. Most likely will not happen. Most likely will not happen. If it does happen, if you are the 1 millionth, you are very fortunate. So with the proper direction, you will quickly experience the total bliss. This is what is bound to happen. But most of us may not even feel this tickling sensation in the body. Sometimes tickling sensation happens to you. Or cold waves, the moment you get it, cold waves can flow through your body. Tickling sensations can happen to your body. Or a tinge of fear can come to you. Or in some cases, your mind could feel just from some deep inside, you can feel acute tranquility, which you have never experienced before. Serenity, you're bound to feel that. So if any of these things happen to you, you're very fortunate that you go deeper, then you realize that you are actually heading towards actual experience of fearlessness. Whereas if it doesn't happen, don't take that as a, oh, I'm the hopeless person. No. Same, some people, we never know that, some of you, although I studied this, I practiced this for all this like 30 years. But we never know, some of you in your past lives, you must have studied this, you must have experienced that before. And here, just with this interaction, you may click and you may go to that height of where you left last life. We never know. We never know. Okay, so what I'm saying is that this is how we should be doing it. Okay, so what we do is that we subject the self, the person, to ultimate analysis, not conventional analysis. How will you subject the self to ultimate analysis? Okay, where is Dorji? I'm here. Don't just be complacent with this. That is the conventional analysis. You come closer to see whether Dorji actually exists from the object, not like a dream. Not like a dream, as opposed to being like a dream, as purely objective. For that, just go closer to the object, and whatever you see as not Dorji, just ignore them. Just ignore them, and let us try to see what is there from the object. The way, the manner in which you evaluate if what you're seeing is water or mirage. You come closer towards me, and when you say there's no water at all, you concluded that what you earlier saw was not water, it was mirage, it was deceptive. Okay, so this is what you can do. So as we do that, first you come to see, as you come closer, you will see the thin layer of the skin. That is not Dorji. You are looking for Dorji, you are not looking for what is not Dorji. Behind the thin layer of the skin, you see the fatty tissues. And I'm sure some of you might have seen the fatty tissues behind the skin. Say, for example, when you bang your leg against the sharp objects, then it, is injured. The open wound happens, and the fatty tissue inside comes out. Very repulsive to see. Okay. Then the behind that you see the muscles, cartilages, and then the whole set of bones are there. Whole set of skeleton is there, and then the heart, the lungs, the liver, all the solid parts are there. So these form what is known as element of earth. Element of earth. So none of these is Dorji, number one. Then number two, what you find is that the 4 liters of blood, you see that you have 4 liters of blood in your body, pumped in and out by the heart to the different parts of the body. Even that is not Dorji, because Dorji does not travel in the blood vessels. Even the element of water is not Dorji. Element of fire, 2,500 joules of energy in your body. Even that is not you, because people can see you from distance. From distance, people cannot see your body energy, body heat. They will not see that. Okay, even the element of fire is not this person. Element of air, 4.6 liters of air that you breathe in and out through your lungs. 4.6 liters of air. Even that is not you. You don't, get into your lungs and you come out. No. Even the element of air is not you. That element of space, 99.99% of your body is vacuum. 99.99% of your body is vacuum. Even that is not the self, because the self is a solid person. The vacuum is vacuum, or the space is empty, vacuum in nature. The space is vacuum in nature. Even that is not you. And what about your mind or the consciousness? Even that is not me, because you can, from distance, you can see me, the empirical self. From distance, you can see this empirical self. You cannot see my consciousness. My consciousness or my mind, it does not have any physicality. So I'm talking about the empirical self. Empirical self. And even those people who believe consciousness is the self, for them, the consciousness is not the empirical self. So we have to make a distinction. The consciousness what travels from one life to the other, or those people who believe in, say, the final judgment. So the consciousness, that is the one which is subject to the ultimate final judgment and goes to heaven or hell. Those who believe in law of karma, so that is the one which travels from one life to the other. But still, in all these traditions, it is not the empirical self. Empirical self is the self, the male, female, or Indian, Tibetan, whatever. So that is the empirical self, which is the identity that you get pertaining to this life. That's the empirical self. So we are looking for this empirical self. And we see that you can, from distance, you can see this empirical self, empirical Dorji, but you don't see the Dorji's consciousness. And this one thing. And also that the Dorji is a male or a female. But the Dorji's consciousness or the mind does not have a gender. And gender is posited on the basis of body. So the self, empirical self, is a male or female, has a gender, but this consciousness does not have a gender. So from this point of view, even this consciousness also not the gender. Now keeping aside the consciousness, what is left? Nothing is left there. Nothing is left there. Now the question is, where was this self as Dorji, which you saw is so real, which made you smile? Where is it? It's quite scary. If you really start to feel the fear, don't worry. Don't worry, just continue this practice, and eventually this fear will be replaced by the acute feeling of serenity. This is so precious. And so believe it or not, where you have some conflict with person A, you go to your room, close the door, sit properly, and then do a little bit of breathing meditation to let your mind calm down, and then do this exercise on the basis of 6 elements, which you're going to do now. Exercise. And the moment this person dissolves in the eyes of your mind, instantly this agitation stops. You could feel it. This is extremely effective practice. Okay. And then you're bound to have more, say, as you do this meditation, you experience something, then experientially you come with more questions. For this, feel free to write to me. Okay, good. Ready now? So we're going to do the 5 steps meditation. 5 steps. Okay. Just sit upright and take, let's say, 7 deep breaths to just keep your mind, let's say, free of discursiveness. Okay, just take 7 deep breaths. Just stop thinking anything. Just take 7 deep breaths. Okay. Now we're going to the 5 steps. The 5 steps I'm going to mention. If you want to note it down, note it down. The 5 steps. Just write 5 steps to meditate on emptiness. 5 steps to meditate on emptiness. The first one. The first is the empirical self. Empirical self. EMPIRICAL. Empirical self. Number 1. Empirical self. Number 2. The 6 elements. Number 2, 6 elements. Number 2, 6 elements. Number 3. Number 3, 2 questions. 2 questions. Number 4, meditative experience of the space-like emptiness. Meditative experience of the space-like emptiness. Meditative experience of the space-like emptiness. And finally, number 5, post-meditative experience. Post-meditative experience of illusion-like emptiness. Post-meditative experience of illusion-like emptiness. Okay, these are 5 points, and I'm going to quickly explain how I'm going to take you to each of these steps. The first one is self. Just observe yourself, empirical self. I'm not talking about the soul which travels from one life to the other. That you want to do, you can do later. But here, empirical self, this is going to be very effective. Finally, what disturbs us is that, okay, let's say some male chauvinists, the females are so offended. When you meet with the male chauvinists, the males are more important, right? And so there is about the empirical self. It's not about the soul. Soul does not have a gender. Let's not forget it. And the empirical self. So what is this empirical self like? I'm a male, I'm young, I'm old, I'm this, I'm that, and so forth. Just see how this self appears, like a dream or as surreal. Number 2, has 6 elements. This empirical self is made of 6 elements. For example, this table is made of top plank and the 4 legs. This beautiful, hall. This hall is made of the ceiling, the floor, the windows, the walls, right? Likewise, this self, empirical self, is made of these 6 elements. Element earth, which is the solid part of the self. Element water, the 4 liters of blood. Then the element of fire, 2,500 joules of energy. Then element of air, 4.6 liters of air. And the element of space, 99.999% of your body, which is vacuum. Then element of consciousness or the mind. Okay, so these are the 6 elements. Then the 2 questions. 2 questions. Question 1 is, what are you seeing? What are you seeing? I'm seeing the 6 elements. When subjected to the ultimate analysis, I'm just seeing 6 elements. What are you seeing? Number 2, where is this empirical self? The first question is, what are you seeing? Second question is, where is this empirical self? 2 questions. What are you seeing? And number 2, where is this empirical self? Okay, then you see that empirical self is nowhere to be identified. It's nowhere there. You go to number 4, which is the meditative experience of the space-like emptiness. It's like space, this empirical self dissolves. It becomes like a space. Meditative experience of space-like emptiness. And finally, then you come out of meditation. Again, this self comes back. You feel that self comes back. There's no change in the self. It's just perception changes. Just the perception changes, like the water, perception of water, and the perception of electrons, protons, neutrons. Perception changes. Likewise, initially the self dissolves, now the self comes back. There's a perception change happening. So perception change happening means it's just purely how we perceive. From object, there's nothing really there. It's just a mere perception, like an illusion. So number 5 is post-meditative experience of the illusion like emptiness. So this self is like an illusion. It does exist. It's not non-existent. It is illusion-like, not illusion. Okay, yesterday we made this distinction. Okay, ready now? Okay. We'll do this meditation and then we will leave for tea. Yeah. Okay, ready? Okay, now quickly take 3 deep breaths. Okay, first the self. How does the self appear to you? Self, that I'm Dorji, I'm a male, I'm a female, I am from university, I'm not from university, whatever. You just describe the self, and after describing the self, undeniably existent self, empirical self, just observe how this self appears, as like a dream your mind is projecting it, or as so real from the object which makes you smile. Of course, as so real from the object. This is how you see the self as objectively real, which is totally deceptive. How do you know that this is deceptive? We go to point number 2. Let's remember what Arya Nagarjuna said. If the mirage were to be water, why not those close by the mirage see water? Likewise, if this empirical self would exist objectively as real, why not I see this as I go closer towards this object, this empirical self. Okay, now let us go closer to this object. Going closer to this object is not how the conventional world operates. This is where we employ the ultimate analysis as opposed to conventional analysis. Subjecting this self to ultimate analysis, we see that as you go closer to self, we just see the thin layers of skin. Whatever is not this self, empirical self, let's just ignore. Thin layers of skin. Of course, this is not me. This is not this empirical me. Behind that, the fatty tissues, again not. Behind that, the muscles, cartilages, the whole skeleton, heart, the lungs, the spleen, the stomach, intestine, gallbladder, and so forth. None of these solid parts constitute this empirical self. These solid parts constitute element of earth, and the element of earth is not this empirical self. Next, the water, element of water. 4 liters of blood, which is pumped in and out by the heart to the different parts of the body. Of course, that is not this empirical I. Keep this aside. Next, the element of fire, the body energy, 2,500 joules of energy. The body heat, in simple terms, the body heat. Of course, people from distance, they can see me, they cannot see this body heat. So even this body heat, the element fire is also not me. Next, element space. 99.99% of our body is just vacuum. Our body is just made of, say, if you are 60 kg, 60 into 10 to the raised of power 27 atoms, which means 60 billion atoms. None of these atoms is this person. So, and these atoms, inside these atoms, the space between the nucleus and the electron is far wider than the space occupied by the protons, neutrons, and electrons. In other words, we are just essentially like vacuum, just empty. Even this vacuum is also not me, because I'm a solid person, and the vacuum is like empty. There's nothing really there. And the element of the consciousness, or the element of mind, even this, people from distance can see me. They cannot see my consciousness, they cannot see my mind. And also that I'm a male, I'm a female. And this consciousness does not have a gender. Gender is posited on the basis of the body. So even this consciousness is also not the empirical self. We're not talking about the soul, we're talking about the empirical self. It's not empirical self. Okay. So this is what you're seeing, the 6 elements. Now the 2 questions. What are you seeing now? I'm just seeing the 6 elements. In the eyes of this ultimate analysis, I just see the 6 elements. Second question. Where is this empirical self? Nowhere to be seen. None of these 6 elements is the empirical self. Keeping aside the 6 elements, there's nothing left there as the empirical self. In other words, from the object, we see that the empirical self is empty, nowhere to be seen. Stay in this experience. This empirical self is nowhere to be seen, known as the non-affirming negative. Just stay in this experience that this self is nowhere to be seen from the object. When subjected to the ultimate analysis, this empirical self is nowhere to be seen. Just stay in this experience. This is the meditative experience, step number 4, the meditative experience of the space like emptiness. Stay in this experience. And when you do get a glimpse of this, a tinge of fear can come to you, or a tickling sensation can happen to your body. Cold waves can flow through your body to different parts of the body, or in some cases, extremely serene physiological experience can come to you. Should any of these things happen, you are extremely fortunate. Don't worry. Even if there's a tinge of fear, you are very fortunate. Continuing this meditation over and over again, this tinge of fear will be replaced by acute serenity and tranquility. And those of us who do not feel anything at the moment, no worry, just go for more extensive studies and go for more meditation, and eventually you're bound to go through this experience. Okay, now imagine that you're coming out of this meditation. Coming out of the meditation, again the self comes back. Yes, there's a self there. This undeniable empirical self comes back. Okay, so this empirical self, from the object, I am 100% sure it is not there, but it appears to me now. It's a mere appearance. Appearance means like illusion. This is known as the post-meditative experience of the illusion like emptiness. The more you sustain this awareness that this self is like illusion, this empirical self is like illusion coming from my subjective perception, nothing really from the object, this will keep your mind great and calm and will not be affected by any external factors, which too are seen like a dream. Okay, come out. Good. Okay, now we will retire for a short tea break. Okay, people don't want to go for tea break. Okay, yeah, tea break. yourself. And some of you may, after about like, let's say the 20 years from now, in the future, which is 2042. Say 2042, at the moment I see that most of you, your hair is black. So my hair is already white now. And imagine that after 20 years, most likely most of our hair is going to be white, except for this young girl there, who's 19, right? 19, 20, 30. Oh, 39, which means you will be white. Not fully white, grayish white. Okay, so what I'm saying is that, so at that time, you may be going through difficult times, rough times, and you remember, oh, once when I was there in Goa University, somebody came from somewhere, Delhi or what, Tibetan center, something, and he said, be kind to yourself. Oh, now I'm going through a tough time, rough time, so I should be kind, I should go to pubs. And Goa is known for pubs, right? You go for pubs. But you forgot the second line. You remember the first line, but you forgot the second line. Second line says, be wisely kind to yourself. Not only being kind, but be wisely kind to yourself, which means that do those things which will actually make you happy, and stay away from those things which actually make you unhappy, drag you into more miseries. Okay, so what we learned the last 4 days and today is that happiness, what we seek is to be freed from miseries or forms of fears, and to expand the circle of happiness. This is what we are seeking. If that is the case, then how to do that? How to do that? Everybody's trying to do that, but we don't really succeed. How to do that? And then people struggle, right? A struggle, expecting that your miseries will be mitigated and your happiness will, increase. And yet, deep inside, feeling that to get into miseries completely, to have the expansive happiness is impossible. This is what many people think. But the answer is no. It's simply because of our naivety, of our lack of knowledge. Therefore, the knowledge is so important. Knowledge is so, universities, colleges, institutions, they are so important. For this reason, what the Buddha said is that even if you have brilliant eyes, without the light, you cannot see anything. If you have the brilliant mind, but without this knowledge, you will not learn anything. You will not see the reality. So, knowledge is so important. Your education, your studies, they are so important. So with this, the knowledge of the mind, how the mind works, is so important, because finally you are happy, unhappy, stressed, the burnout, all these things are going in your, all related to your mind. So, to know the mind is so important. So what we learned is, today I redid this a little bit, the 5 ever-present mental factors. The contact, attention, discrimination, feeling, intention. By now, all of you have these by heart. I know, I'm very confident. Yeah. So these 5, now tell me, what is happening when you are agitated, when you're sad, when you go through anxiety attack or depression? So what is happening? On these, which of of the 5 levels, what is being affected? The 5th one, intention, right? Intention is involuntary movement happens. Involuntary jerk happens. Involuntary movement happens of your mind. Involuntary, where you don't want the mind to move that way, but it moves. That is stress. Stress. And if the stress is intense, it is anxiety. If the stress is fast or prolonged, it's depression. and take different forms like sadness, bewilderment, confusion, and so forth. Nobody wants these. So if you want to stop this involuntary movement of your mind on the level of the intention, what should you do? Anyone? Very quick. Change the feelings from the unpleasant to the pleasant feelings. Very good. How to change the feelings? Anyone? Change the discrimination. Okay, very narrow scope discrimination, or distort this discrimination to a correct discrimination and vast discrimination. You getting it? So yesterday what we learned is how to fix the discrimination and fix the feeling and fix the intention. All the fears, wake up from the sleep of ignorance, and you're feeling agitation, the feeling of the unpleasant feeling changes to calm feeling, which makes your mind intention to slow down and relax. That is the wisdom of emptiness, with the wisdom. Today, what we're going to do is with the compassion. So how we're going to change our compassion. So let's say again with the discrimination, you have to change the discrimination by introducing compassion. And this is extremely beautiful practice. Extremely beautiful practice, compassion. And don't think that, oh, compassion, so some people, when compassion is discussed, this is, the spiritual, or some people say this is girl's thing. It's not about the girl. Anybody who wants happiness, this is, required. And if you don't want to be happy, if the boys don't want to be happy, then go without compassion. Yeah. So the point is that this is where we need to work on. Okay, today we're going to look for changing the discrimination in the form of compassion to change the feeling from unpleasant to pleasant, thereby change the intention to keep it calm and expansive. Just now say that you are just next to the ocean. Arabian Sea is there, and then no, the two oceans. Bay of Bengal is there, Arabian Sea is there. Oh, you are seeing both, or you are seeing one? One, Arabian Sea. Okay. So Arabian Sea, let's say that they may be, okay, keeping aside the tsunami from inside. Say on the surface there may be the ferocious waves, but deep inside is still very calm, right? So your mind, with a very expansive compassion, that makes your mind inside not to be stirred. It's very calm and peaceful. A temporary stir may happen on the surface, waves may occur on the surface, but deep inside you become very expansively calm and peaceful, not being affected. This is the power of the wisdom, power of the compassion. Power of the wisdom is just to bring about a drastic change in the perception, and then as you see that the fear dissolves. The compassion, you are so expansive that nothing affects you inside. It's so calm, peaceful, and serene. Okay, so the point is that what we are trying to do is, say in your life, what we said is that in most cases, I would say that you agree with me that particularly when you were age 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, when you were so vulnerable, the person who's so, you feel so connected, you feel so loving, was your mom and dad. How many agree with me? Raise hands. When you're vulnerable, not today, when you're vulnerable. Okay, good. My question to you is, in those days when you were so vulnerable, when at school, say the elder children, they bully you. So there was a time your mother your father. They were extremely, particularly your mother. Okay. With this in mind, just imagine if you could feel this love and affection that you felt towards your mother that time. Today, if you could feel the same towards all the beings, will you be happy or not? Yes, for sure, no doubt, happy, presents. And you'll be happy to do anything for that person, right? You'll be happy to do anything, right? And Dion, no issue, right? If you could feel this love towards everyone, person says that, okay, Dion, just they raise a hand, right? You'll raise a hand, just make the other person happy because you love the person so well. And then they say, move your hand like this, you'll do like this. Behave like a small child, you'll do like this. Because you love the other person so much. This is a beauty. With the eyes of the love and affection, you see everything divine. You're getting it? Then why not why don't we do it now? Why don't you feel this love and affection towards all the beings now? So that your happiness will be so expansive. We want that. We want this happiness so expansive. And we know that in a life, not as an intellectual exercise, but in a real life, we have the experience that when you're vulnerable, that with this love, you feel the moment you see your mom, instantly all your tension dissolves when you're so vulnerable because of the love. And you can love. You can love all the sentient beings, all the beings today. Why not? Right? If you love this, you will get what you want. You want the infinite happiness, and you get this infinite happiness. What would be your question? Anyone? Quick. What would be your question? How to develop this compassion, right? How to develop this compassion, number one. And also, I tried this to a neighbor, but the neighbor starts to take advantage of this, right? And then say he or she is expecting more. And then if I keep taking care of others, who will take care of me? They didn't take care of me. You're getting it? Okay, all these questions are there. In practically speaking, in practical sense, how can I practice this unconditional love towards all the beings? This question. Is this a question? If you say yes, raise hands. Okay, don't be lazy, raise hands. Okay, good, which means everybody. Okay, my question to you. How many of you did have this experience of this spontaneous love towards your mother when you were so vulnerable, age 4, 5, 6? Raise hands. Okay, my question to you is, day one you were born on this earth, did you have the same degree of the intensity of love towards your mother? Day one you were born. Huh? Huh? You don't remember, but can you conjecture? Can you guess that you did not have this? Huh? If you said yes, I can guess that I did not have this intense love towards my mom the day one I was born. Raise hands. I can guess. Okay, good. Okay. And now, if that is the case, over the next 4 years, 5 years, and believe it or not, the pain these children go through at the prospect of seeing the separation from the mother, the pain is so acute. How many of you can understand this? Raise hands. Yes. One time what happened was that my sister brought her 2 little children, my nephew and niece, 2 of them, to be staying with me for 1 week. For them holiday. Actually for them is a penalty, not a holiday. And from the mother's side, my sister's side, is for them to learn something from me. To be a holiday. And then she brought 2 of them in my house with their bag, and the girl was little, I think 1 year, 2 years older. And 2 of them were with me, and the sister also came, and we just kept chatting. And after a while, my sister was to leave. Then the girl could sense that now they're going to be separate from the mother. And you won't believe what was going through this girl's mind, little girl's mind. Suddenly she just exploded with a scream. It's so painful to see that. She tried to contain this. She's trying to just restrain from crying, from screaming. She was just controlling the emotion for all these like 2 hours. And then when could see that the mother's leaving, then just exploded. Wow, it was so painful to see that. So painful. So why this pain in this little girl? Why? Anyone? Quick. Why did this little girl feel this enormous pain to see that separation from mother? Why? Yes? Because of the attachment, because of the love, the intense love that she feels with the mother. It was the mother, right? Okay, my question to you. How many of you had that same kind of love towards mother when you were that age? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 reasons. Okay, now my question to you is, how did you cultivate this love? Okay, Veda, did you have this love towards your mother at that age? How did you cultivate it? Day one you were born, when you came on this earth, you did not have this love. And the next 3, 4, 5 years, you developed this love. How did you learn this? You don't know. Or anybody? Yeah, so we are dependent on the Prime Minister. So this child has so much love towards the Prime Minister, President. Yes, no? Very good. Very good. The child could see the dependency. Although the child is dependent on the President, Prime Minister, UNO and so forth, but the child could not see that. With a mother, it's so evident, that dependency. Okay, Dion? Okay, Dion, let's not forget it. I said, day one, did you have the same intense love? You said no. I don't remember. You don't, but you can conjecture that. You can conjecture that. You're getting it? So how come that you did not have this love day one you're born, and how that developed over the time of the period of 3 years, 4 years, 5 years? This is my question. And the answer coming from here, Joyce, is that because this child, day by day, the child continues to learn that I'm heavily dependent on this person, and this person gives me so much love and affection. Okay, anyone else? Anyone else who likes to add? Okay. Okay, so what Bharadij is saying is what Dion is saying. Two of you are much more in the same wavelength, that it is more instinct. Yes. Okay, non-realization to the realization. And the Bharadij is saying that it is instinct. We don't have to learn. It is in you. Okay, so it is in you towards your mother or towards others? Towards everyone. Okay, this is beautiful. Let's not forget it. But Bharadij said, this feeling of love and affection you can feel towards anyone, not necessarily to the mother. Because it so happens that this person identified as mother is the one who makes this seed to be awakened within you. Okay, first let us, what Bharadij is saying is a little deep, profound. Let us first go from the surface. On the surface, we all will agree that this child sees this mother as a source of benefit. Yes, no. Reasons. Source of benefit. Finally, I want chocolate. You turn to the mother and cry. You turn to the neighbor, you cry. Who cares? You turn towards the mother and cry, and the mother comes and gives you chocolate. And you feel cold, you just sit like this, you turn to the mother and cry, and the mother gives you coat, give you warm clothes. So you see that this is the source of benefit. You want benefit or you want non-benefit? We want benefit. So where you see the benefit, the mind goes closer towards that. The mind becomes closer towards that. This is the meaning of I feel close to you. You're getting it? I feel close to you means I love you, in simple terms. So where you see the benefit, okay, I'm not talking about the gender attraction, right? It's 16, 17. This is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the mothers. So where you feel that this person identified as a mother is the object of benefit. When I feel hungry, I turn towards her, she gives me food. When I feel cold, I turn towards her, she gives me. When somebody bullies me, I turn towards her, she's there to protect me. Right? Okay. So there I see that this is a source of protection, this is a source of benefit, and then you turn towards that. You turn towards that. So your mind goes towards that source of benefit. So that feeling going closer, this is known as I feel close to my mom. I feel close to means this is the meaning of love. Love in real sense is a mind feeling close to the particular object. If it is mother, mother, dad, whatever. So this is meaning of the closeness, feeling of the love. Okay. So from this, what did we learn? We learned that the love and affection we developed at this age 3, 4, 5, intense love that you developed towards your mother was because you were able to, as Dion said, from unrealized state to the realized state. You realize that this is the person who is the object of, the ultimate object of benefit, source of benefit. So the mind feels so close. This is how we develop love and affection. In other words, what we learn here is that love and affection is developed by realizing that that person is the object of benefit. How many agree with me, sense? Very good. There's nothing wrong in it. You can rationalize, and if the love comes, rationalize it. If you don't rationalize, love comes, don't rationalize it. Your job is to experience a love. You're getting it? What you want infinite happiness of your 10% happiness. Infinite happiness. If you want infinite happiness, you have to cultivate infinite love. To cultivate infinite love, see whichever approach. By drinking water, if the infinite love comes to you, drink water. By playing football, if you get infinite love, do it. This is your path. You're getting it? So whether you rationalize it or whether you don't rationalize it, whatever approach, you can take any approach to make you feel this unconditional love towards others. When you feel it, the purpose is accomplished. You're getting it? It doesn't matter. You can rationalize it. Whatever approach helps you do it. Right? Okay. So for this, no, tell me. No. No, that's not true. Yes. One with others. Why with the mother? So why not with the father? No. In some cases, with the mother is very strong. Particularly when the child is very young. age 3, 4, 5, is stronger with the mother. Why not with the father? And why not with the neighbor? But when I remember, so okay, listen. When I was 5 years old, particularly we were, in not really orphanage, in the nursery school. We were given to the elder girls to take care of the small children, and there was one girl to whom I was handed over to take care of. So I always see her every day, and for me it is traumatizing to see her, not feeling one with her, which. uh, Okay, so this is what is said. What is it? In case if the same child, age 3, if with a person who abuses the child all the time, the child will never identify the one with the other person. This is what I'm saying. And just just be very realistic. Just feed the child to survive. And the children in the orphanages, they survive. But they don't feel the love towards the person who is, closer to them. I know. These are the realities. We should be very realistic. You're getting it? Okay, keeping that aside, we don't have much time. We have only about 10 minutes past. Okay, so what I'm saying is that that how we develop this love, intense love, by a small child, say day 1 we are born, till we reach the age 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, particularly towards the mother, is that we come to see this mother as a source of benefit. Likewise, even when you grow up, when you were, let's say, when you're older, like when you're age 20 or 30, when you go through some difficulties, and then if there's somebody who helps you, your mind will feel close to that person. This is it's a natural tendency. So what I'm saying is that how do we feel this love and affection? It's through receiving the benefit. When you feel that if you don't feel that you receive the benefit, then you don't feel this love. Although you are receiving so much benefit, if you don't realize this, so from unrealized to the realized state, if you don't realize this, you don't feel the love. So whereas if you realize this, that this is the person, this is a source of benefit, then you feel close to that. Okay, so how many of you actually agree with this? Presents. Okay, Dion doesn't agree. How? Yes. And how do you feel that somebody's caring? Okay, care. Yes. Okay, let me put it like this. This is oftentimes, say for example, I agree with what Dr. Savitri is saying, that we have so much of water on the planet Earth, and yet we are so amazed to see that there is a trace of water in Mars. Take care of the water that we have. We just look at all this ocean so dirty. We don't take care of this and look so surprised. spend trillions of dollars to explore if there's a trace of water there. Oh, there's a ravine there. There must be water earlier times. You don't explore that. You know? So what I'm saying is that they say out of 100 babies, right? They may identify there's either heartbeat or whatever. I acknowledge that. But what he's speaking is the feeling of the love and affection. You know? Say day one you're born, the mother picks you up, somebody else picks you up, there's no difference. Even the enemy to capture you, to put you into this child imprisonment. If that picks you up, you go with that person. Only when you, after a while, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, then you start to feel this intense feeling. You're getting it? Okay, so what I'm saying is that these, yes, Dr. Andaji. Okay. So basically, there is no contradiction there. So what Dion is saying is also very true. What Dr. Andy is saying is also very true, because it's not that everybody is just the same. Some people say, okay, you come to this orphanage, oh, welcome, right? Welcome. And the person, whatever food to be given. And the extra things, okay, you need, yes, but there's heart or no heart. How the mother does is very different. How the mother does is very different. Let's not forget it. So therefore, those of us who still have the mother, you're very fortunate. Don't take that for granted. What Dion said is very true. How the mother does is, and how somebody else does is very different. The mother does is like, okay, not all mothers. I would say 80% of the mothers. What they do is extreme, like almost 100% selfless, particularly when you're vulnerable. Whereas others, they can vary. They're very compassionate ladies working in the orphanages. So they feeling of love and affection towards children can be like 60%, 70%, 80%, 90%. Still cannot compare with the mother's love. Cannot compare with the mother's love. It's very different. They can give love, but this love, within that love, there's a range. 60, 70, 80, 90. Mother's love is very different. Why I'm saying this is that I could see it. I could see that. All these many years, if you tell me, I'll say, you travel to many places, tell me what's your favorite thing to do, right? Oh, which is your best place, which is the best food? I said, these are the most boring questions to me. Which is the best place, which is the best food? And if you ask me, what is one thing which is the most favorite thing for you to do? I would say, to just sit somewhere and observe unnoticed by the mother and the child. I can stay there for like 3-4 hours just observing the dynamics of the mother and the young tender child. It's so beautiful. Nobody can mimic this. Nobody can mimic this. A father can mimic this, but the father, they're not so skilled as the mothers. They love you so much, but they don't know how to give this love and affection. Mothers, they're so expert. And others cannot mimic it, I would say. It's not that nobody can mimic it. 100%, that's not true. 99.99% of the other people cannot mimic the mother's love. Yet, others can have love, like 80%, 85%. 85% is a big percentage for somebody to demonstrate this love and affection to somebody else who's totally unrelated to you. Okay, so I agree with both of you. So the point is that what we are learning here is that only if we see somebody as a source of benefit, then your mind will close to that yes, no. There's a benchmark. If the answer is yes, is there a possibility whereby I can see everybody as a source of benefit? If I can see everybody as a source of benefit, my mind will automatically float with everybody. This is known as unconditional love towards all the beings. So, he jumped to a certain point. It makes sense, but how to do that? How can I feel? What's your question? What would be your question? Anyone? Not compassion. I took a different step. Compassion was the first question, right? I said that. How did you feel this love towards your mother? By seeing the mother as a source of love, source of benefit. If you can see everybody as a source of benefit, then you will have love for everybody, love to everybody. This is what I said. So what will be the next question? Say it again. Okay. So when you see if the person is the same, okay, conditional meaning you are because of this, right? You fall in this category, I love you. You fall in that category, I don't love you. This is conditional. Whereas you reach to a point where any condition makes you loving the person. So that's unconditional. No, listen. So to reach that level, you have to see benefit. If you don't see benefit, your mind does not flow. You getting it? Yes, Lakshmi? Yes. Yes. For the mother, my child. My child. If she's happy, I'm happy. My child. That's true. This is known as biological love. Biological love tainted with my. Dion? Okay, the thing is, I told to Veda that you can apply any rationality, you can apply any experiential, the event, that it should be workable, it should be working, it should be realistic. You're getting it? It should be realistic. You can say that, oh, Buddha loves everybody, so if I love everybody, then Buddha will be very happy to me. I love everybody. Oh, God loves everybody, I should love everybody, then God will be happy to me. I will love everybody. But in reality, this is very complicated. We say like this, experience, we don't feel it. We never feel it. Because of this, there's somebody who is considered as the most pious person can be the person to destroy the other religions the most. This is problem. Therefore, we should feel it and let them just see if that allows your compassion to flow towards all others. If that is not happening, something is wrong in the approach. Although it can be so systematically presented, but something is wrong with the approach. Where your love flows towards everybody, all the religious people, non-religious people, everybody, then this is something to be adopted. You're getting it? So the question is, okay, what would be the next question? How to see the benefit? Okay, from my mother is, of course, yeah, I see the benefit, right? But from the people who take advantage of me, they take benefit from me. I cannot get benefit from them. So how to see benefit? There's no benefit like getting from the complicated people, right? I'm sure you have in your own life, you have complicated people, very difficult people. I'm sure you have. Raise hands. You have difficult people in your life. Yes. So complicated people are there. You getting it? Okay. Let me be very quick, because I don't know. It's already. Okay, we have, 22 minutes past. What should I do? Okay, we have to ask Dr. Savideji. Okay, so others who like to leave, and we'll go. Oh, yes. Okay, 10, 15 minutes. Yes. Okay, to make it very quick, the point is that for this course, for this certificate course, it's not going to be as detailed studied, but for this course we study more detail. A diploma course, which is 1 year course, and the master's course we study in great detail about this. So I'm going to just quickly share with you, say all the people that we can think of, all the blessed people for the first time, for the time being, blessed people. All the people we can think of can be grouped into 3. Near and dear ones, and the very complicated people, difficult people, and the neutral people. Can you imagine anybody who does not fall under one of these 3 categories? Can you imagine anybody? No. So either somebody should be close to you, somebody should be difficult to you, or neutral. There's no the fourth possibility. So the near and dear ones, we don't really need to learn how they have been beneficial to you. By the very definition, near and dear one means someone who loves you, someone who takes care of you. How many agree with me, sense? That's easier. Okay. Number 2, the neutral beings. The neutral beings. Oh, that's how can we see the benefit of the neutral beings? This is something that we have to reflect on. And it is extremely freeing. That you will get a feeling of the freedom if you can reflect on this well. Let's say that you go to, let's say that Goa, go around the campus. How safe is it? In the Goa University campus, how safe is it to safe in the nights? Safe? Okay. Otherwise, from the human beings, it's safe. Okay. Let's say that, but there are many places where after dark, it is totally unsafe to go. You know? Okay. Why you feel so safe here? Why not in that place? Right? You cannot go after, like, say, 6 p.m. Why? Tell me, very quick. Lack of security there. Here you have the lack of security. Where is that security? Huh? Huh? A policeman is here? Wonderful. Let's not forget it, what Dion said. The point is that it's not, don't think that everywhere it is like Goa. Oh, in Goa, we used to just go around at like 8 p.m., 9 p.m., no problem. We can also go, then you can problem, right? So don't think, why Goa is special? Is that the people in Goa, right? Okay, generally. People in Goa, they are more decent, more cultured, and they are harmless, let's say. And do you know all these people? Can you identify this Goan, this not Goan? Can you identify that? No, you cannot. Even many people, they take Dr. Savita as from Delhi. Pure Goan, right? So people think that she's from Delhi, right? So what I'm saying is that, do you know these people? You don't know these people, yet because of these people that you can freely roam around in Goa. And these people are near and dear ones, or the difficult people, or the neutral people. Neutral people, yet you reap this benefit. You have the privilege of going around freely without having to fear. These are neutral people, right? And for example, say in Goa, is there the metro? You don't have metro. Bus? Bus. Train? Train, yes. Okay. Okay, let's say that okay, on the aeroplane. On the aeroplane, we can be there, and you can freely sit, sleep. There's no fear there. Why we don't have the fear? Again, because of other people, right? Because of other people, and say in the train, in many places, there we see that there are so many other people. There are people there, and you feel so free. And you know that the VIP people, they have heavy security guards. And some of you may envy them. Oh wow, they have the security guards. Do you envy? Huh? You may say that, but you know, deep inside, how I wish I also have some security guards. No, this is a different. No. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. If you go there with the heavy security, roast block, you don't mind. When other people, other person come with the security, it minds you, right? Okay, what I'm saying is that actually there's nothing good in it. Don't forget it. It's a little funny, but that has a big message there. There's the security guards, right? Security guards, you have to, first of all, pay them heavily. And what's the job of the security guards? To make sure that your life is secured, right? Your life is secured. And the security guards, say with the security guards, you don't have freedom, right? You cannot do whatever you like. And these people, they're not your brothers, sisters. They're outsiders. You don't want to see, you don't want to show what you do normally to these people. You behave as very decent, right? And you go to toilet, they may also come to toilet, right? And then you have to feed them to make sure that they're not hungry. If they're hungry, how can they protect you? Whereas when you go in the shopping malls, when you go to any place, in the trains, aeroplanes, so forth, who are the security people around you? They are your security guards. As long as these people are there, you can just take very comfortably that nobody will come to snatch my neck or with a knife, right? Even if somebody wants to do that, cannot do that in front of public in most cases, because you are being protected by these people. And these security guards, you don't have to pay, it's for free. Number two, they will not come to your toilet. Number three, that you don't have to feed them, right? When you want freedom, when you want your privacy, then they will let you go to your room and they will go on their own. To think very seriously, this is extremely great privilege that we are feeling. There's so much of privacy, so much of security, because of the presence of these people who you don't know. These are unknown people, strangers. Because of them, you have benefited. And how many soldiers are there on the border, right? So here in Goa, you can just relax, no fear. Not because only that the Goan people are good. The border is heavily guarded, right? And these people are risking their life. Their family members are suffering. So all these benefits you are getting, we are not even aware of that. Only when conflicts happen, then it comes to news, then you may be aware, okay, we have been guarded by these people. Some people think like this. Others, normally all these conflicts are happening in the border. Some Javans are always being killed. And we have no clue what's happening. So this is how we are being protected. And do we know these people? We don't know these people. These are the neutral beings. For example, let's say 3-4 days power cut. Power cut, I would say that there's going to be huge crisis in the whole state and the nation. Huge crisis. Even if you have money, you will not even get this. What is this? You cannot get this. You cannot get this. What otherwise, like a Maggi noodle will cost you 10 rupees. It will cost you 500 rupees. Even that you will not get. You're getting it? So what I'm saying is that, say from this, you get it easily. And you may say, oh, this is just like 10 rupees. But if you think carefully, think very carefully, so these materials come from where? From the shops. And the shops, from where the materials came? From the factories. From where it went to the factories? From the farms. How many farmers worked on this? Number one. Number two, these are brought not on bag in the car, the trucks, tractors. These trucks, they are made of metals. And metals, they came from the iron ore, from the mining. And this roads by being built by the people. Not, oh, the trucks are coming, now the road should be laid. No, people's hard labor. So during that time, so here we have the AC, and say the workers there, there's no AC, and most likely not even healthy water to drink. And where the babysitters for these small children of the workers? No babysitters. And they have to bring their food from their house. What kind of food? Just 2 dry chapatis and some achar, finished. So this is how all the privileges that we get, they are because the hands of the millions and millions of people over the generation after generation after generation. And where are these people? Do you know these people? We don't know these people. To think, to be very honest, say, this pen. If your mother is to give this pen to you, just customize this just for you, if this pen for you, tell me how much do you think it will cost? So this pen, if you buy it from the shop, it will cost you 10 rupees. It's very cheap, use and throw. But if this pen were to be made just for you, this will cost minimum billions of dollars. Because the plastic you have to extract from the petroleum, the metal from the mining. And all these things should happen, the processor in the big machines. So this will cost you billions of dollars. Do you have this amount of money? Does your mother have this amount of money? No. But you get this so easily. How come that you get it so cheap? Anybody? Mass production. What does it mean by mass production? Because the same object is being bought by thousands and thousands of people. Because of that, you get the privilege to enjoy this pen. Just imagine 2,000 years ago, do you think that even the kings and the queens had the privilege of using this pen? No, they have to use the quill, the feather. But the feather is so inefficient. So you have to just poke an import every now and then. With this, you can just write it freely for hours and hours. This is a privilege even the kings and queens did not have. And say, you have this fan. 2,500 years ago, do you think which of the kings have the fan? They have the human fan. Which is more effective? Human fan is more effective. This is more effective. Human fan, human beings, when they're so tired, and then they collapse. Right? And you have to feed them. And you don't have the privacy. And you see that you are just, so special. What's special? You don't have the privacy to do what you like. Because that person who fans you is watching you. This will never watch you. This is amazing. So you get all these privileges because of so many hands involved over the generations. And where are these hands? You don't know this. Do you know these people? You don't know these people. These are known as neutral beings. It's because of neutral beings that you get so much of benefit which your mother cannot give, that neutral beings can give you. So they are more kind than you. You get more benefit from the neutral beings than from the mother. So your mind will flow even closer towards the neutral beings than a mother. Okay, the next part is your complicated people. Okay, this is what many of you are waiting for. All right? This is what many of you are waiting for. And in my case, right, when I was very young, I had great difficulty with one person. Great, very young, meaning very young, age 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Just feeling so corrosive, agitated, just even to see the person. And then after class 12, otherwise I was supposed to be going for the college to do honors in physics. I just quit the idea. Okay, don't ask me this question. Quit and then joined the monastery to do philosophy. And then in the monastery, our job is what? Then compassion, wisdom, studies, practices, and then practicing. And then say I must become enlightened to benefit all the beings. So there are many steps there. 7 steps, 9 steps. And when I reach the last step, may I become enlightened to benefit all the beings. Then I think of this difficult person, except for this person. Except for this person. My mind doesn't accept it, except for this person. And then later when I learned that how the difficult person, they are the greatest source of benefit for you. Wow. It simply relieved me for good. It's so relieving, what a freedom. My mind simply finds the ease. Then I see that the difficult people, I feel the closest because they are the most kind. How? This question, how? Okay, let us not forget this. A sound of clap. The 2 hands coming together and the sound is erupted. This sound is the metaphor for the suffering that we go through. This suffering should necessarily come into being because of the combination of 2 factors. External factors and internal factors. External factors, no matter how much you do, you cannot get rid of all these external factors. And those people who always complain of the external factors, this person, that person, this person, that person, finally, your problem will never come to an end. Your job is be wise. Be kind to yourself and be wisely kind to yourself. Do things which will actually get rid of your suffering. Don't keep complaining where suffering does not end. This is unwise. Wise person should be the one to do things which will actually terminate your sufferings altogether. So what's the wise thing to do? Instead of external factors, look for the internal factors. Get rid of them, then the external factors, however strong. No sound. Sound of the misery stops. Your misery stops altogether. You find the ultimate peace. So, what is that internal factor? There are two demons inside us. One is ignorance, and the other is the self-centered attitude. As long as we have these 2 things, we will never be happy. You may be the most powerful person. You are so unhappy. You may be the richest person. You are very unhappy. Physically, you may be the most attractive person, boy or girl. You are very unhappy. In fact, you see people committing suicide amongst the physical most attractive, materially most prosperous, and the status-wise most powerful. You see people committing suicide, which means essentially they are never happy. Okay, so the wise people will look for the internal factors, these 2 things, and terminate the 2. Okay, how to terminate this ignorance? By cultivating the wisdom. That's easy. How to terminate this self-centered attitude? By terminating by introducing the opposite force, counter force, which is other cherishing mind, love and affection. Now, the question is, to see that, okay, how to get rid of self-cherishing mind? Say for a child, say some of the children, they are very, very selfish. Age 2, age 3, age 4. Some of them are very selfish and some are very kind. Right? Some are very selfish. say the mother gives a chocolate to the child, grabs at it. And the chocolate, the brother given, they're also grabbed. You want everything. Some are very selfish, some are very kind. Okay. Now, we see that there's a degree there. For this child who's very selfish, okay, now, oh, you get all the chocolate, give one to your mom. No. Give one to your dad. No. Give one to your brother. No. Okay, now you have to give one, otherwise I'll snatch away everything. Okay, so tell me, to whom will you give? To your mom or to your brother? No, this small child is given the choice that you have to give one to somebody, then the rest you can keep. Otherwise, I will snatch everything from you. You want to give it to your mom or to your brother? To the mom. Why? Because he feels more comfortable with the mother, more loving to the mother, not much to the brother. Okay. So now, this child, if he can give to the brother, the harmony in the family is going to be greater. Yes, no? Right? Okay. So the point is that what actually makes the child very unhappy, people not accepting him, except for the mother, others will not accept him. And he suffers so much. Why? Because he does not love them. You're getting it? So his feeling of the selfishness, that is what forbids him from other people loving him. And you want others love you or not? Yes, we want others love you. We always crave for likes in the Facebook, Instagram, everywhere we like. Please like my, please, thumbs up, like. We crave for this. If you want this, what should you do? Let them love you. How can you make them love you? It's you by giving love. Right? Okay. So with this, what we see is that the real demons inside, from your side, other people love you or not, that's a different story. But from your side, there's a demon inside. There's selfishness. That, as long as that is, nobody will love you. External factors continues to be attracted. And internal factors there, miseries keep exploding, right? So your job is what? Your job is to get rid of this. For example, let's say that you are suffering from illness. What kind of illness? You have fever, you have a headache, and then and you take paracetamol, your fever is gone for a while, 3 hours gone, again comes back. What will you do? Anybody? What will you do? Let's not ask the doctor. Anyone else? Huh? You've already taken medicine. Paracetamol is a medicine. Huh? Yes, I've been taking rest for all these, many weeks. Oh, fresh air, yes. Okay, look, yes. Then I tell them, then you problem's over? Very good. You have to identify the cause of the problem. What you're trying to do is you are dealing with the symptom. You are trying to treat yourself symptomatically. You have a headache, take the paracetamol. And it goes away for 1 hour, 2 hours. Again it comes back, which means that it's more than a mere headache. There's something more severe there. It can be tuberculosis. It can be cancer. It can be anything. It can be COVID. Right? You have to check the root cause. So the wise people will check the root cause and terminate the root cause. When they identify there is tuberculosis, take the antibiotics, isoniazid, rifampicin, ethambutol, take these, and then your problems will be over. Okay. Likewise, say the root cause of a problem inside is the selfishness. As long as you have this selfishness, you will never be happy, believe it or not. And if you think of it from the life after life, many lives, if you think of the severity of the fears in the wildlife, savory to fear in the ocean, right? How all these the fish in the ocean, they are so vulnerable. Any bigger fish can come to eat you up. In the wildlife, any more stronger or bigger group can eat you up. Anytime you have to live in fear. And even the lions, who are at one time the king of the whole forest, one time will grow old and somebody else will again eat you up. Yes, even the lions. Nobody is spared. Nobody is spared. Everybody is going to be eaten up by somebody else. It's a matter of just time. Very scary. Very scary. So, these are all because attracted by this selfishness. This is for sure. This is for sure. And the first indication that you get is that as you work on to get into this selfishness, you will feel a great freedom. Your mind starts to flow. Selfishness, which stops the mind from flowing towards others with love and affection. When selfishness is removed, the mind flows towards others. When your mind flows towards others, you could feel the ease. That is so beautiful. It's what a freedom. You could feel the freedom there. So the point is that we need a target to blame for our problems. And target should not be external. If you blame the external all the time, you will never be happy, because external factors you cannot get rid of. Whereas a target, it is yes, external factors are there, but internal factors, this is something which I can fix. Selfishness. So the more you blame this selfishness, the more you blame, don't blame the self. Don't blame the self. Don't say that self is finally I'm the one culprit. I'm the cause of all the problem. No, you are so important. Remove the selfishness, and this self will become divine. You can be like the Mother Teresa. Today, you can be like His Holiness the Dalai Lama, like the Jesus Christ, to really benefit so many people. You can become one like that. So for that matter, what we need to do is that we have to identify selfishness. This is so. Look at the family. In a family, in your family, in your school, in your university. Say somebody who's most selfish, generally speaking, less number of people will be as friends to that person. You'll become lonely. So more compassionate. And then, yes, I try to be compassionate, but people come to me when I have money. When the money is gone, when the power is gone, nobody comes to me. That is known as wise or the skillful compassion. Not just compassion, but we need skillful compassion. Compassion blend with wisdom. Compassion directed by wisdom. That is required. And do everything. Just always try to see your target with blame, which is self-centered attitude with me. This must be, just let me take steps to stay away from the selfishness. For example, the first thing that I would suggest you to do is that how many times you shout at your mother? Once in a month? Once in a day? Once in a week? Okay, just charity begins at home. First step that you take is stop shouting at your mother. This is the first step. Shouting is again indication of your selfishness. This was selfishness. The moment you stop shouting at your mother, your selfishness to a great extent it is subsided. When it subsides, you will see the glow in the mother's face. Because the mother loves you so much. And then when you shout to mother will not write the application to the police. Right? She'll remain calm. Right? I have the host friend in Mumbai. Whenever I go there, I visit them, the family there. And one time I came to realize that all the family members, that my host family, they are coming to Delhi. So I told them that when you come to Delhi, you must come to my place. I'd like to invite you. And particularly, others will come. The father, the children, they would come. But the mother, not sure. So I just went to her personally when I was there in their place. And I told them, you all come to Delhi, you must come with your family to my place. And she said, Geshe, I have this problem, hip problem, that problem. For me, it's very easy to invite her. So I said that, okay, fine. Then I told the eldest daughter, her eldest daughter, said that, when you come into Delhi, you all come into my place. Geshe, of course, we'll all come. I said, your mother's not coming? No, we all come. I said, I told her, and she said, I have this problem, that problem. Then she said, Mom. And the mother said, yes. When we are all in Delhi, mother, you are joining us to meet Geshe. And she said, yes. Finish. I extended, personally, I went to extend invitation. And she said, I have this problem, that problem. And the daughter said, we're all going there to Geshe's place. She said, yes. Finish. She surrenders. Why? It's all out of love and affection. All of love and affection. So what I'm saying is that first take the first step. That is, charity begins at home. Stop shouting at your mother. Take this step. If you can succeed in this, believe it or not, the glow in your mother, she wants to see you. But when she sees you, she's not just anytime she can blast. Right? Or anytime he can blast, or she can blast. So she's a little uneasy, but she craves to be with you. At the same time, there's uneasiness there. When you stop shouting, right, the mother will naturally exude the joy from her face. You can see that because you love your mother so much. When the mother exudes such a joy in her face, that is reverberated in your being. You will feel the joy there, which is so beautiful. And you will see a beauty there, just something exuding in the family. So beautiful. And the neighbors come to visit your place, they just feel like, wow, there's something special there. They could feel that. They could feel that, feel the warmth in your place. Okay, start from there. And then see, say for example, say on aeroplane, right? Aeroplane lands, right? In the Goa airport or from Goa to anywhere, it lands. Aeroplane lands, the moment aeroplane lands, you know what happens? Right? Everybody gets up. Everybody gets up. And they try to go before the other person. Right? Why? Again, selfishness. Again, selfishness. Purely. This is totally irrational selfishness. You just go behind before the first person, you will all have to wait there in the baggage claim. You cannot, your bag may come the last. There's no point in you going there to standing there earlier and irritating the person, irritating the other person. What is this? Right? And then I was sitting, landing Goa this time. I was in the aisle and my two friends, the two, what do you call it? Not co-passengers, let's say the roommate. Two of them, right? Which means we have to stand up now. I said, go. Right? They just stepped over me. And they were standing there. They have to stand, they couldn't go. Right? So I was sitting. And finally, again, we met there at the baggage claim. So what's the point? Right? So this is all selfishness. This is all the reflection of a selfishness. Just observe your mind. Watch your mind. And all this unnecessary, stupid selfishness, just stop them. And you will feel that you are, say what Albert Einstein said, right? Expand the circle of compassion towards others. This is freeing yourself from the prison of one's own mind. This is so precious. Let's not forget this. And then try to see that, and then from this, try to learn, say that people who are difficult people, until I learn how to, so I see them as difficult people because they hurt me. Right? They hurt me. Again, selfishness. They hurt me. There's some degree of selfishness there. Conventionally, the world will say, no court will say that you are wrong. No high court, no Supreme Court will say that you are wrong. You have this selfishness. Nobody will say, you have said you are right. They will side you. But essentially, it's like the two hands. Same. There is, as long as you feel uneasiness inside, there's some degree of selfishness there. If this is not there, you will never feel this uneasiness. So, as long as you don't get rid of this, you will never be happy. Even if the whole world, including the High Court, Supreme Court, they are behind you, you will not be happy. Right? Finally, what you want is, you want happiness. What stops you from experiencing happiness is this selfishness. So show anger towards this selfishness, not towards the outside people. But it doesn't mean that you surrender to other people. We require be wisely kind to yourself, which means that take every step to stay away from the external factors which can impede your happiness. Stay away from the external factors. But finally, what we have to do is work to get rid of the internal factors. Just the more you think of how this selfishness is so harmful to me, the more we think of this, the more the selfishness will subside. This is amazing. The more we think the selfishness, this self-centered within me is harmful to me, the more it will subside. The more it subsides, the more your mind expands. This is so beautiful practice. Okay, then over time, you realize that that's very strange, that your mind will flow very naturally towards the neutral beings, towards even the difficult people. They're so precious. And so this, where you are able to see that, okay, so finally, for the difficult people, I'll give you one example, and then we'll stop here. Okay. So let's say we talk about, say let's say, imagine how many of you know on the Muhammad Ali? Okay, who is Muhammad Ali? Okay, as most of you said that he's a boxer. He's not just a boxer, he is a legendary boxer. You're getting it? Okay, imagine you are a boxer. You want to be a level of the Muhammad Ali, or you want to become a mediocre boxer? Muhammad Ali level. You're getting it? If you want to become a Muhammad Ali level boxer, then don't make your mother your coach. If your mother is your coach, you will never become the legendary boxer, because your mother will never give you a hard punch. You'll get a soft punch like this. This will never make you learn how to stop the hard punches. You're getting it? So never make your mother your coach. So you need a coach who actually hits you hard punches. Only then you will learn how to stop these hard punches. You can possibly become the legendary boxer. You're getting it? So who are those people who give you hard punches to make you the world legendary boxer? The difficult people. Only difficult people, for example, let's say you come here for this five-day class. Oh, Dr. Savitaji, Dalila Machair, program is beautiful. And your mom said, what happened? My daughter, you look so happy today. Yeah, of course, this is a beautiful class. You look so changed. Usually you shout at me. Now you're not shouting at me. Wow, this is so beautiful, amazing. There's a great transformation there with you. Yeah, it's a beautiful class. Then your neighbor comes, knock at the door, and said, you throw the garbage next to my door. And he said, no, I do not throw garbage next to your door. Yes, you did. You came right now, and then the garbage is here now, right? And you say, hey, now stop. You're getting it? When you say stop, then the anger arises within you. You're getting it? So your mother thought that you have become divine. But your enemy, your neighbor is able to tell you that you are still not divine. You have the demon inside there. So your enemy is able to identify this demon Then you realize, oh, that's true. Still, I have the demon inside. I feel unhappy. The anger coming in. So enemy is telling you that what 5-day class, right? What 5-day class with this person? Your anger is still there. Your mother could not identify that. So without identifying that, how can you remedy this? So your enemy is the one who helps you to identify what is the illness within us. How many you go for annual checkup recent? Why do you go for annual checkup? Is it because that I have this problem, doctor, please treat me? I don't know. There can be some problem. I don't know. Please see, and you pay money, right? We give for it for free. Hey, those who go for medical checkup, is for free or is you have to pay? You have to pay. You're getting it? You pay. You say that please take this money and see what's wrong with me. And your enemy is doing that for free. Right? You don't pay anything. Enemy is actually helping. You have this illness inside, self-centered is inside you. Your mother could not identify that. So only identifying that, then you can fix it. You're getting it? So they are so kind in taking you to the, say, making your, say, the pseudo perfection become manifest fully. Who helps you? The one who gives you the maximum happiness, that is that is the greatest source of the benefit. Who is that? Your enemies. So your enemies are the greatest source of benefit. If you realize this wholeheartedly, you'll feel that your mind will flow towards all the enemies. And even the enemies, they suffer, you feel compassion towards them. Okay, so I stop here. So these are two wings. These are two wings, one compassion, one wisdom, to make you fly across the ocean of miseries to the state of ultimate happiness. Okay, we stop here. Thank you so much, Dr. Savidaji, and thank you, Dr. Anidaji.
So thank you very much, everyone. Please don't go. We'll have a nice photograph. And please take your certificates also. Yeah. Yeah. Could we all come here? Or we'll give the certificates. Yeah. So I thank Geshe on behalf of all of us and Goa University for coming here. I think nobody wanted to leave today. We didn't mind see the time at all. Yes. So, yes. Sharmila Dev. Yes. Mother and daughter. Yeah, there is a name. Yes. Sharmila Dev. Bijon Shaha. Yeah. Bijon Shaha. Saha, sorry. Suman Kanolkar. Meera D'Souza. Yes. Okay. Koshi Tharakan. Rajavi Naik. Poonam Sadekar. Rajavi. Poonam Sadekar. Next one is Elroy. Bojana Brachkov. Vanessa Pinto. Angela Chico Almeida. Yes, okay. Rehab Dias. P.A. Vasundara. Chetan Bagaria. Chetan makes very good poetry. Yes. Eric Pinto. Maria Ribeiro. Maria Ribeiro. P.A. Lokabharti. Bharti. Siddhi Jalmi, she's not here. Jocelyn Menezes. Maria Joyce Sara Pinto. Nadeza Newpokeva. Is my pronunciation correct? K. Sangeeta. Asha Maria Koshi. Santosh Uday Madihali. Santosh. Cameron Alice Menezes. Okay. Sia Sangodkar. Akash Sadanand Naik. Salgaonkar. Yes. Tariq Jamil. Pia Bakshi. Bindu Vaz. Geshe